State Department has also been very quick to seize on the possibilities offered by social media. And I'll give you a few examples here. It's launched the USA Dar Farsi brand, which can be found on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. And USA Dar Farsi allows us to quickly and broadly cover policy issues, react to breaking events, link to translations in Persian of US policy statements, and to host interactive events like Twitter interviews or regular features such as the one with which I'm most familiar, Ask Alan, as Alan Beporsid, which is a monthly video where I answer questions from Iranians on various topics. Some of the topics we've covered so far are US visa policy, Iran sanctions, and US government Middle East policy. Another example of the State Department's use of social media relates to Iranian students interested in continuing their studies in the United States. The State Department's Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs has an incredibly resource-rich Persian language website, educationusairan.com, which has everything an Iranian student needs to know about coming to study in the United States. And one of the benefits of this social media is not just that it gives us new ways to push out our US government talking points, it also allows two-way communication with Iranians, and believe me, we pay attention to what we hear from them. For example, in response to a cascade of Facebook messages from Iranians, we quickly became aware of and were able to change US government public documents which use the term Arabian Gulf instead of the official US government term, which is... There you go. This is just one example of when social media allowed the US government to hear from and to react to the concerns of Iranians. The department created the position in April of this year of Persian language spokesman, which I've been fortunate enough to fill, and it's been a real honor for me. Creating this State Department Persian language spokesman position allows the State Department to more routinely communicate directly with the Iranian people in their own language. Having, I hope, shown that the US government is making this concerted and sustained effort to reach out, the question then that asks itself is, why? Why is the US government going to all this effort? Doubtless for many Iranians, the answer would be that we're doing so because Iran is the most important country in the world. Or, as Graham Fuller puts it in the title of his excellent book, Iran is the center of the universe. While I would never disagree with such a sentiment in front of such an audience, I would prefer to put it this way. 1. It is in the interests of both the United States and Iran to have an Iranian citizenry that is informed, connected to each other and to the rest of the world, and empowered relative to its own government. 2. It is in the interests of both the United States and Iran to have an Iranian government that is responsive to, that is accountable to, its own people. 3. The US government believes that by seeking to communicate directly with the Iranian people, we can help achieve these two goals. The Iranian government seeks to limit and control Iranians' access to news and information. It seeks to limit and control Iranian citizens' ability to communicate both with each other and with the outside world. And finally, the Iranian government seeks to prevent its accountability to its own citizens and to deny its own citizens a formative role, a determinative role, in fixing the future of the Iranian nation. Indeed, what the Iranian poet Malek al-Shu'ara Bahar wrote about Iran and the need for reform during the constitutional revolution almost 100 years ago can now be said of the whole region. Ya marg ya tajaddud o islah, rahi juz in do pish vatan nist. Iran kohan shodat sarapai, darmanish juz be taze shodan nist. You know, I was originally drawn to Iran and to the Persian language because of its poetry, and I think one could easily write a book, maybe Trito will write it, because you're writing so many books, titled All I Ever Learned About Life, I Learned in Divan-e Hafiz or Golestan-e Sa'di. Well, Sa'di knew well the relationship between justice and stability. As he wrote in Golestan, Padshahi ke tarh zulm afkanad, paye divar mulk khish bekanad. Iranians have often believed that Iran's fate is decided pushte parde, in closed rooms by the great powers that be qawle ma'ruf kar English host. But this belief, even if it were true, is certainly true no longer, and believing in it can cause a fatal passivity. Let us make no mistake, Iran's future will not be decided by Washington or by London. Its fate will not be set by ayyad ajnabi, by foreign hands. It is the Iranian people who must determine their own fate. So the United States, believing there is no contradiction between our nation's interests and our society's values, will continue to reach out to and stand alongside the Iranian people, believing that with our help, they can make a difference, and that one day, as Hafez said so well in one of my favorite poems, Yusuf gum gashte baz ayad be Kan'an gham makhor, kolbe ahzan shabar ruzi golistan gham makhor, in dil gham dide halish beshavad, dil bad makon, ven sar shuride baz ayad be saman gham makhor. Thank you very much.